This is really, really good from Leslie Ryder. It broke my brain a little bit, as I think it will break many people's brains.
Okay.
Emily Sonnet is returning to the NWSL Championship with the team she lost against in 2023 to play the team she won with in 2021.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Hello and welcome to Expected Own Goals. It only takes one chance to change your team's fortunes edition. I am your host, Eric Morgan.
And I am Evan Davis. One chance to rule them all.
Truly.
Gotham played pretty poorly against an Orlando side that also played pretty poorly, leaving it to one moment of magic from one of the best players in the NWSL to decide who gets to play Washington in the NWSL Championship in San Jose on Saturday. And we are here to break that game down for you right now.
We had talked pregame, a couple of things in our preview. First off, in our previews, you predicted Washington would win their semifinal 2-0 and Gotham would win theirs 1-0. You did add in extra time, but I'm going to give you credit for this.
I got real close.
Yeah, you got real close. You got real close, and you got the scores right in both games. The XG does not reflect those scores in either game, which is why we don't bet on sports. Second, this game we described as potentially quite attritional. I didn't imagine it would be as attritional as it ended up being.
I'm trying to think of the last time the NWSL playoffs offered up a game that was this bad.
Oh, Seattle-San Diego.
Seattle-San Diego was bad. I guess Portland-Gotham, that semifinal was also pretty bad.
Yeah, but weather affected bad, so it had like a fun intensity to it.
Right, but this, the 2024 champs versus the 2023 champs.
Should have been delicious.
Should have been delicious. If you go by the reported attendance figure, Orlando had their third biggest crowd ever on hand to see it, and they were rowdy. It was a good atmosphere, which you usually don't get in Orlando, but they were not rewarded with anything close to entertainment. This was immovable wall against immovable wall.
I often will watch like the extended match recaps the morning before we record, just to sort of see also like what the people who are editing for the league decide the points of emphasis should be.
Yeah.
Here's how they edited the second half. The kickoff, a single shot, and then the Jaedyn Shaw chance. There was exactly 2 highlights for 50 minutes that led before the Jaedyn Shaw attempt. Awful. And by the way, that's how it felt.
There are those games where you feel like everything's being held in abeyance because everybody's just doing exactly what they're supposed to do and their strengths are negating each other. I didn't sense that there was really much of that at all, barring 2 moments in the first half where Jackie Ovalle managed to pop off a couple of really high-value chances that almost felt accidental.
Yeah, I really want to caveat both of those chances. The first, which is, I think, correctly scored as a pretty high XG chance from only a handful of yards out on a low cross in the box. It's a 0.38 XG chance. It's just really well marked.
Yeah.
So the tackle is there before the shot really even leaves her foot. Yes, it's a high XG chance, but also it's one of those that a hair later and it's not even a shot because the defender has just gotten the ball.
Yeah.
The second is deflected, catches, I believe, Jess Carter or Emily Sonnet's leg, redirects, and Ovalle really has no chance to swing at it. It's impressive she gets anything on it, and it skims off her foot way wide of goal. It's a huge opportunity that was also well defended, or well enough defended to negate the chance, and had it not been scored as a shot, I'd be fine with that too.
Yeah, it was Emily Sonnet, and yes, the deflection probably also creates the moment for Ovalle to even get there, or even attempt to get there.
That pass does not have a high chance of getting to Ovalle, and it gets to her not in the way she wanted.
Yeah, so with those 2 chances, you could say that Orlando should feel pretty hard done by, that they ultimately were the better team, and hell, 1/2 second of marking reaction on that first chance, and maybe Ovalle slots home. Maybe the deflection goes off a different part of Emily Sonnet's foot, and it actually makes it even easier for Ovalle to take the shot. If that happens, we're talking about a rematch of last year's championship, most likely.
Yeah, entirely possible.
They didn't happen, and Orlando had absolutely no way to answer or recreate any of those opportunities. It was just absolutely a slog.
By the way, I actually think that was a design function for a lot of what Seb Hines was doing. I felt like Orlando came out and really looked for a handful of opportunities early, and then when that didn't work, just decided to grind this game into dust. And you know what? That was probably the right call given the talent that they had on hand. The first shot on target all game for Gotham is Jaedyn Shaw's goal.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a hell of a defensive performance.
No, you're right. I think that Orlando, we talked about it in the preview, they were going to be at the talent deficit, and so it probably behooved them to just try and gum up the works, and gum up the works they did. And Gotham only escapes by a miraculous free kick at the absolute death. But I can't think of Orlando being particularly happy with trying to create chances themselves, but I guess no one in their right mind should have expected that because they've been just so depleted in attack.
Yeah, very much so. We talked about this also pregame. In knockout games, the emphasis on set pieces just rockets through the roof. What you do on your set pieces really matters in individual games.
I don't know how to describe what Jaedyn Shaw did other than the post-game comments of being so confident because she said that she put it exactly where she wanted to.
By the way, I believe her.
I mean, I'm sure that's where she wanted it to go, but, you know, it was a .06 XG chance. Like, those don't get scored very often. And, like, where it was a moment of magic. It was beautiful. It was incredibly dramatic and exciting, and it was a worthy capper to an otherwise, execrable game. But it's not as though, like, this was a set piece designed with the set piece coach for players to like drag certain markers out of position to create space. Yada, yada.
I strongly disagree with that. I think that like this is textbook what you do from that position. First off, that set piece only exists because Jackie Ovalle has a loose touch in an otherwise impeccable game.
Sure.
She plays so well. She's a loose touch that drags the ball back to the box, and the foul, it's a clattering, it's a coming together. That said, it's a horrific spot to give up a dead ball.
Sure.
It's at an angle where you still have to set a wall, and you have a left and right-footed shooter, both of whom are equally likely to take that chance. The way Gotham line up for that, by overloading the far side of goal for Jaedyn Shaw and leaving the near post for a Rose Lavelle chip over the wall. So Morehouse kind of has to be of two minds about that. Lavelle doesn't try to fake the set piece opportunity, but when Shaw takes that, every single Gotham runner has a chance to get their foot on the ball, and they are running in a wave. And so Morehouse, who has to basically wait to make a choice to see if any deflection happens to keep herself level for a save, Midge Purse misses the ball, which is the last opportunity any Gotham player has. It's perfectly timed, and suddenly Morehouse has to do the thing that she really wasn't counting on, which is face a direct shot on goal. So, like, is it a shot beforehand? No, it's just like try to hit the back post with some pace. And I think that is the design, and it was executed brilliantly. It forces the goalkeeper into being able to make no good choice, and there's no time to react. I think that's like training ground excellence and perfect execution. Like, she puts it in the far side of the net, which is all she's trying to do there with pace. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really good. And what's so funny is, of course, we go down the other end of the pitch and we have a similar opportunity arise for Orlando, and Ann-Katrin Berger needs to make also a hell of a save. Orlando's free kick is significantly further out.
Yeah,
and it's not a direct shot on goal.
It's a 0.27 post shot XG based on like where it was going to go across the goal mouth. I mean,
she has to change her body angle midair.
Okay. All right. I don't. Okay, cool. I mean, I don't have anything to say about it other than that, like, it's weird that the data isn't like matching up with what our eyes are telling us. Like maybe the data is getting something wrong.
The Berger save has sort of the reverse of what happens in the Shaw opportunity, which is it really is redirected, and Berger can't commit until it is redirected. And she is fortunate that the redirect isn't further in the corner, a la Morehouse's chance, and she still has to like make an acrobatic save to do anything about it. Did you see anything in either set piece that like you felt was executed improperly?
I don't know. I don't know. I just always wonder why, when, you know, we have a pretty decent sample size of shots that are taken in those situations from those positions, they very rarely get scored, you know?
Yeah.
And so
I think the Shaw opportunity is like tough because it's not really a shot until its last second.
Yeah.
And like, it's one of those that I can understand why, like, it is not a direct on target, like whipped shot. It is meant for every player to have a chance at. And that makes it like a pass until it isn't one. And I agree. The data is going to struggle with that one. And I can understand why the post shot on the Berger chance is like not that high and it still requires a hell of a save.
Yeah. So, I mean, all this to say that this game came down to basically, if you want to be generous, 4 moments, and all 4 of them broke Gotham's way.
Yeah, good way of describing it right there. I think.
But they were awful. They were genuinely awful all day.
Gotham?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
0.2 XG total.
Yeah, again, even if we don't want to use advanced data here,
Yeah.
no shots on target through 95 minutes.
Yeah.
Is not the performance you want to put in to try to advance to a final.
In a game with Esther starting,
who did not look the part.
Did not really look the part, but also was like not playing, not getting a lot of central touches, like pulling wide a lot, which was a little strange.
Yeah, the chart will tell you Midge Purce is the primary lead attacker, and that checks out for my eyes as well.
Yeah. But also, like, what's the tactical rub there? Like, is that something that Amoros is trying to intentionally do to maybe like drag a center back wide for, you know, Purse to fill the space? Or was it a matter of just desperation because Esther couldn't find any like central channels to try and punch through?
I think you've got it exactly right the first time,
Yeah.
Which is to say Esther was primarily trying to move defenders to create space for runners.
Right. And
you know, it just didn't.
Purse got more touches in the box than Esther did, but she was nowhere more effective than Esther was at all.
Yeah, absolutely. A thing that we've talked about long-term for Gotham is just they really struggle to convert their final third possession into shots. Sunday was the quintessential version of that.
And we'll dig into it more when we start previewing the championship. But I think the only hope that they might have, given if we want to use this most recent performance sort of as a framework, which is probably not the best idea, but let's just go with it. Their only chance against Washington is going to be like the vroom vroom lineup not getting stuck in higher up the field and leaving a bunch of space open behind them. But I don't think Washington's going to do that either. I mean, even if they play Bethune and Santos together, I don't think they're going to do that. And so then where the hell is Gotham going to generate offense?
In the preview, we talked about where the hell is a goal going to come from in this game, and we kind of thought
Turns
Gotham.
out it was a miracle.
It turns out it was a one-off set piece that, to Evan's point, like just doesn't get finished all the time.
Yeah,
like is not a common goal, even if it is well executed. It's funny, the projection models do favor Gotham, but that feels to me not aligned with the Gotham team we've been watching either in the playoffs or in the last month before the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's also hard to like evaluate what that final month meant because they were rotating a lot of people. A lot of people weren't available. The model that really does shock me is the one from American Soccer Analysis. And again, we'll dive deeper into this later this week. But this is the model that looks at like each individual player's like possession value when they are in the starting 11. And like you plug Trinity Rodman, Lacey Santos, Croy Bethune, Rose Kwasi, and Gift Monday all into the starting 11. And then on the other side, you use Esther, Gabi, and Jaedyn Shaw, and Rose Lavelle, and Midge Purce. Like they still say this game's going to a coin flip, you know? And maybe what the work of this week is going to be leading up to our preview is to try and figure out, why does our gut say that that's wrong when the numbers are saying it's just a straight ahead coin flip with a roster that seems to be genuinely superior to what Gotham is going to be able to throw out there? You know?
Yeah, here's what I think. A healthy Gotham is a good roster.
Oh, no question.
Yeah. B, this team, who I think you could say have gotten lucky twice in these playoffs. Boy, have they left it late.
Yeah.
Both times. And I think, to their credit, they've been in the game against arguably the best regular season team of all time. They have been in the game against the defending champs, albeit a depleted version of the defending champs. And they have done a really good job of not allowing high quality chances for their opponents. Mm-hmm. Because I think that the flip side of the two Ovalle chances in the first half is they're not really chances, or they don't really feel like the chances that the XG records them as.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and yeah, it's very interesting because also, like, the two models that are really driven by like season level, like team XG. I mean, these teams were the number 2 and the number 3 team on XG differential in the regular season, and they were separated by like a unit of goal difference. They were incredibly close. And yet the two models that look at that data actually give Gotham a bit of a wider berth as the favorite. Whereas the model that like just looks at the individual qualities of the players makes it look a lot closer. And you'd think it would be the reverse.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would have thought it would have been the reverse. The one thing I want to say to Gotham's credit is I do feel like the models are seeing a very good defensive team.
Sure.
And seeing a team.
And they are that.
And they are that. And a very good defensive team. I believe Washington have not scored against this year. So there is like something to be said for what we've just seen in these past 2 weeks as tremendous defensive effort. Mm-hmm. That said, let's talk about Orlando.
Yeah. Basically dead in the water since Barbara Banda got hurt. They had regressed from their major double winning overperformance of 2024 already, even before she went down. And then after she went down, they brought in Jackie Ovalle on a world record fee, and that was the only source of like consistent attack that they could find. And because of the way that the league has unfolded this year, they were able to secure a home playoff berth by grabbing the 4 seed. But I don't know if that has much to do with them being like truly great rather than just trying to weather the storm, play the zero-sum game, and just run that very good defensive approach that they've had for a couple of years now to continue to get results.
Yeah, I think the last part I really agree with, which is to say they were a shadow of their former selves already from last year, which was a lot of that's just the baked in regression we could have seen coming.
Yeah.
They played a 90th percentile season last year. This year was closer to a 40th or 50th. It's still a really good team. It's still a really dangerous team on their day. But what we ended up with when it came to playoff time is a team that basically needed to shut up shop the whole way. They got very lucky in drawing a Seattle team that was quite bad. They still got outplayed by Seattle. And they needed basically to grind this game into nothingness, and they did effectively do that. Seb Hines, I think, some of the most impressive coaching he has done in his career happened with their backs up against the wall, getting this team even to a semifinal and in position to play 2 home playoff games. There's luck that is involved in that, but there was also true opportunism. They really adjusted. They doubled down on their defense and sought goals wherever they could find them. They got a lot more out of Ali Watt, who departs for Denver in this offseason.
And then wasn't available for the playoff run.
Yeah, even worse.
Yeah.
But they were incredibly persistent, and that nearly got them back to a rematch of the final. So the version of the team that existed last year was dead in the water. The reinvented version of this team was hanging on in an admirable fashion that made for some really ugly soccer.
It's true, and I am probably more curious about the next couple of off seasons from them than I might of any other team because they have become a playoff mainstay
For sure.
and are also a team whose strategy was to pay their players above market rates correctly and appropriately using allocation money that they are probably close to running out of because they have to spend it all by the end of next year. And on top of that, they have a lot of players who are still under contract in 2027, not just next year, which means there's a lot of salary commitment tied up for the next couple of seasons. So where is that next area of wiggle room where they can reload and get deeper? I don't know yet. I mean, that's why just based on what we think of her, I mean, there's probably no better GM to figure that out than Haley Carter.
Probably, yeah.
But just the question will remain, like, you now have to start threading some needles here. And they're aware of that. They think a couple of years ahead of time. So they knew where this like collection of players was going to end up. But hopefully you get Banda back for the beginning of next season and you can use that to sort of continue finding offense where you may not find it elsewhere. It'll be interesting to see how she and Jackie Ovalle mix.
A thing we still don't know about. I suspect it will be good.
Yes.
Because Jackie Ovalle, very good at creating chances for others. Barbara Banda, very good at turning service into goals.
For sure.
So I think you're right. I think we've always wondered how Orlando is going to negotiate the tightrope they've been walking. Yeah, they do have a lot of commitments. They do have a lot of players that are like in peak years who are sort of like central figures in this team. So I suspect they'll be competitive. The question of like what to do with their older components, like a Marta, I suspect Orlando is one of the clubs that would be happy if the salary cap decided to rise.
Very much so. It's the reason I mentioned them in my list of teams during the Washington recap of like, yeah, they're pushing for something like this.
Yeah,
you know?
And you know, it is hard to repeat in any professional sports league at any time.
Yeah.
And given what they have been through, it's shocking how close they came.
Yeah, for sure.
One other offseason thing I want to talk with you about that happened that we weren't going to be able to catch in either of these because we're not talking Kansas City. But another big story happened this week. Was it, Evan?
The news was that on Friday, Kansas City announced that they are transitioning Vlatko Ananovsky permanently full-time into the sporting director role, which is a role that he already had while he was head coach for these last 2 years, and that GM Caitlin Carducci is moving on, and they will now begin a head coach search. This is a classic example of like, guys, don't just read the headlines.
Yeah, the Carducci news is actually the news, and it's interesting.
But we also don't know if that's news either. Like she might
entirely possible.
She might have just gotten a job somewhere else. We don't know. We genuinely don't know. We don't know if she was pushed out. We don't know if she just got another gig. That's all sort of in the air. And as for Ananovsky, according to the article and according to the Longs, this has been in the works for months. In fact, when he got hired, this was supposed to be always the long-term plan. They just hadn't nailed down when it was going to happen, and that got figured out this summer. But he's burned out from having to take training every single day and like plan for games every single week. And now he gets to sit in a very comfortable office, take meetings, watch film, travel to Copenhagen a couple of times a year to go like keep an eye on the development and the long-term vision of the Longs team in Denmark. This is a promotion, you know?
Yeah. He mic drops, heading out the door, dropping that regular season, winning almost certainly Coach of the Year, and then just assumes a different role that will also be influential.
Not a different role. It's a role he's already had for 2 years.
That's right. Assumes a role that...
this is you're going to pay me more to work less? Sign me up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He is...
he's going to be involved in... he's leading the head coach search.
Yeah.
You know?
He's taking a title bump and probably a pay raise after being one of the better coaches in league history.
Yeah.
So bully for him. The Caitlin Carducci stuff, that's just put a pin in that.
Put a pin in it.
Because we don't know exactly what that means just yet. Would not be surprised if it turns out she's going to be a GM somewhere else.
Yeah.
But We don't know yet.
Yeah.
That said, it was a story that I think was widely misinterpreted as like, wow, he lost in the playoffs and therefore it's time to like shuffle him along and put him out to pasture. That's not what happened.
No, not even a little bit. No, he's very happy about what he has been planning for 2 years coming to pass.
Correct.
And good for him, good for his family, and good for the Current. Like, he now gets to plan like how this team is going to play, the type of players that they want to develop. He gets to oversee the academy. He gets to oversee their international clubs. Like,
he's already had a huge hand in recruitment. He
Yeah.
just gets a bigger and more focused one.
exactly. So yeah, and I think it's a win. Like, he's good at it. Like, he's always been good
Yeah.
at. He's always been good at identifying talent. In the 25 years he's been working in women's and girls soccer in America, this has been a core competency of Vlatko Ananovsky. So yeah, it's all, in my opinion, it's all positive. You got to get the head coaching hire right. You got to get the new GM hire right. But I haven't seen anything from the Longs in the last couple of years that makes me think that can't happen.
No, team run well, still run well.
Yeah, we have put the like Matt Potter out, Camille Ashton like trading players in the dead of night and pissing them off. Like, that era seems to be very comfortably behind us.
Yeah.
So, in the meantime, that's it for our semifinal recaps this week. We will be back talking about the NWSL Championship, previewing that game, and a lot of other content besides. We're going to be in San Jose going up tomorrow, or probably today when you're listening to this.
Yep.
And a lot of really cool stuff, a lot of really exciting stuff that is going to be coming from us in the next few days. If you are in San Jose for the game, we are going to be at Jack's in downtown San Jose with the Bridge Brigade, the official supporter group of Bay FC, welcoming in supporter groups from the Washington Spirit and Gotham FC, and any fans who might want to meet up and hang out the night before the game. So if you are around on Friday in San Jose, we'd love to meet up with you. Come by anytime after 7 o'clock. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. The last two championship weekends that we have done have been just a total delight.
Yeah.
We're going to be there all week, covering the entire championship week for the second year in a row. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're amped. And also, Patreon is out from behind the paywall this month. So all of our Patreon episodes are available to listen to for free, in the hopes that if you're not a member yet, you'll click the link in the show notes and join for only $6 a month, where you get all 4 bonus episodes every single month, as well as the video and audio versions of our main feed ad-free. It's an incredible deal at twice the price.
By the way, whatever 4 bonus episodes we're doing a month, we're blowing the doors way off that this November.
For sure.
Yeah, but what you can count on next month is a pretty regular 4 episodes extra a month, as opposed to 97 episodes a month,
Yeah.
which is currently not what we're on pace for, but might hit.
We will talk to you very, very soon. Have a really fun championship week, and hope to see you guys on Friday night.
Bye.